So hi everybody, my name is Melanie. I am originally from the US and I have a background in anthropology and documentary filmmaking. And I actually moved to Sweden about 6 years ago on a Fulbright grant to do research on integration at the height of the migration influx into Europe. And so I was really interested in understanding like the experiences of people moving to new places, especially with very different cultures, and how they integrate into society. And I was working on a documentary at the time, but I started to dig in and do research. I was at Lund University and really realized there was a problem with people integrating properly into new places, especially in Sweden. It's a very hard place to integrate into. And I wanted to find a way to solve the problem where people could meet like-minded people and find unlikely connections that were, crossing borders and not, helping people discover that there are a lot more commonalities than we think between us. And so I started building an app that was for connecting people through their common interests. And then we started to actually shift our platform to focus more on community building and helping community managers have a safe space for building their communities that's not driven by ads, that's not mining people for their data, that's empathy driven. So we really care about the direction that our internet is going in and that social media is going in, and creating a different type of space online. And we saw that during COVID, the rise of community was just, tenfold. And we thought, like, we have something to contribute to this, and we want to create a space that's different than what's already out there, where people can come and they can share experiences, they can have a common purpose, and they can actually build meaningful connections between themselves and feel healthy and not addicted to these products that are just mining us for our attention. So that's where we've ended up. In terms of my hobbies, like I said, I used to work as a filmmaker, so I'm really into filmmaking, photography, all types of art, yoga, meditation, traveling. Probably at some point in this call, there will be one or two cats that enter the screen, so I like animals. And yeah, and I just moved to Portugal a few months ago, so I'm realizing that I love exploring the city and going to the beach and the amount of sun that I'm now getting. So
Awesome. So, you have built this huge network through Panion. So, I would like to know what got you started. Like, who is the role model? What mission, what vision you had for Panion?
I mean, our vision was really to make people feel more connected and have a deeper sense of belonging. I would say that I've lived in many countries, and it's been tough, especially the older you get. You have a hard time really feeling like you find the people that you can connect with. So I'm not sure who I would say is my ultimate role model, but I would say that I really appreciate people that are using business to drive change and impact. And I think that, I mean, I get like warm and fuzzy inside when I like hear about the really cool things that startups are doing to solve problems that politicians
Mm-hmm.
aren't doing. So I think that it's the people and entrepreneurs and everyone's responsibility to try to find a way to make this world a better place and to solve a lot of these problems we have with the environment, with society. There's so many things that we're struggling with. And so I really look up to people that have managed to solve them while also creating a sustainable business out of it, because I think doing both is a bit tricky, and we're trying to figure out how to do that
Okay,
ourselves.
great. So, quite a journey you had, and when like you were you faced, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
Wow, there's so many obstacles. I mean, I'm an artist and I have been very entrepreneurial my whole life, freelancers or contracting things out, project managing, but I had never really managed a team before. And I think that was a big obstacle for me to learn how to oversee, how to manage a team and build a team culture, and also how to grow as a leader and really find my space in leading people. I would say that was like a major growing point for me. I think it's also hard to balance, especially as a female founder, this chatter and all of this, oh, women don't get any money, and oh, it's harder for women, and all of this talk, and still feel motivated to go out there and try to get the money anyways, and go out there and build your business anyway. And so I think like being confident in what you are building and the mission you're solving, and that you have this incredible team that is able to achieve that, and not letting all of this outside pressure and the no's that you get bring you down. I mean, that takes a lot of work to get to that point, but over time it's easier. And I think when you have a team of people who are supporting you and believe in the same thing you do, you realize that the people that don't get it, that's their loss. So, I mean, there are a lot of, I could go on and on about the obstacles, but
no, you can talk about it, because this is where we really appreciate your courage to overcome this obstacle, what has been your journey, and the different obstacles you have faced, so that you can inspire other women to not to give up and be a person who can take up on these challenges.
Yeah, I think the obstacles are trusting yourself and getting the knowledge that you need to know how to talk about your business, to know how to talk about the opportunity, the risk, what you can offer people as a company. I mean, I think it's a big learning curve, and you can't be afraid of failing, because you're always learning every time you fail. And I can tell you so many embarrassing stories of me not knowing what I was doing, but I think the growth that I grew a lot from all of those failures, and it made me a different person. And I think you have to be open to that, because being an entrepreneur is not easy, but it's really rewarding when you see yourself growing and changing and progressing.
Awesome. Yeah, I totally agree with you. And most of my experience have been, very challenging. So I can totally resonate with your experiences. So going further, so what is one piece of advice you would like to offer to female students, or budding engineers, or businesswomen, or women and who are investors, to inspire them to take up entrepreneurship, or to take a job in arts, or even, I would say, follow their own dreams?
I would say I have two. They're kind of related. One is to be authentic. I think there's going to be thousands of people telling you what you should do and how you should speak and who you should be. And I think that you don't have the time to try to pretend to be someone you're not. Being yourself, the right people will be attracted to you, and you will find the right teammates, the right investors, the right clients, if you're yourself and you find those people that resonate with that. I also think that it's really important to trust your gut. And I think over time, your gut gets more, you fine tune your gut. And when you make a choice or a decision and it works or it doesn't, each time your gut feeling learns a little bit more about what to do in the next situation. And I would say that right now I feel very confident in my gut to say, like, this doesn't seem like the right fit, or this seems a little bit off, or wow, I just got a good feeling from this person, let's do it. And I think at first you're like, can I do everything on a gut feeling? You should obviously do everything. You should be strategic, but don't underestimate gut feeling, because I think it's really powerful. And I think as you learn more of your gut, and then you really need to realize that actually it is something to rely on.
Okay, great. So I totally agree with you. Following your gut feeling is your gut feeling is one such thing even I have learned over these, Sure. So, our last question is, what is one thing that you really want to change in this world and why? If you can be as elaborative as possible.
Would like to, I mean, it's built into us, toxic. I would really like to create, I'd really like to make it accessible for everyone to feel like they belong to something,
Mhm.
and that they can find people who get them, even if they're like, you know, stuck in some like faraway place that doesn't have great access to, like, physical access to people, that we can still use our connectivity online for good and for connection, and that we can build ways or spaces online that are positive and they're healthy and they're supportive. And I think there are examples of this, but I'd like to see more of them, and I'd like to also see more legislation that's limiting the toxic spaces and behaviors from companies online. So for me, I think that's something that I would like to see change.
Okay, great. And you are trying to change this you're from the company you have built. You are trying to change. You're trying to build an authentic community, professional network where empathy is the priority, not the toxic environment that is all there in the world right now. So yeah, it's actually great. And
We're also giving people the tool to build it themselves. So with Panion, anyone can build a community and
okay.
have this type of space. So it's like creating a tool where everyone has this opportunity and can contribute their own piece, you know, their own twist on like contributing to this problem, or build a community that brings meaning to a certain niche or a certain type of people, or people with a certain purpose or experience. So I think our goal is to create something that enables other people to pass things along, you know?
Mhm. So when did you start this company, like Panion, and when did you establish it, and then what has been the growth till now? Uh, and thirdly, do you have any apps or on Play Store or App Store?
Yeah, so we have our app is on both App Store and Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
Just search for Panion, and you can sign on as a regular user and just find people nearby who share your interests, and search for
Mm-hmm.
people based on shared interests. But you can also sign up as a community manager who wants to build a new community, and we're helping not only build and grow communities, but people build businesses out of their communities and monetize on their communities, because many people have created a community around a common experience, whether it's, you know, being a female founder or having a certain illness or a multitude of things, and they spend all their time like nurturing this community, and it's their time and it almost is a job, but then they're not being compensated financially, so they can't put everything into it because they have to have a side job or a full-time job. So we want to help people make these communities a priority and also monetize on those communities.
Okay, great. So when did you start Panion? Like last year or in 2018?
2018, yeah.
Okay, great, awesome. So I think that's it from our side. It was lovely talking to you. Thanks a lot for your time, and we'll keep in touch. Okay, thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Bye bye.